Hey guys, I'm Sabrina and today I have another pumpkin recipe for you. We're making baked pumpkin donuts with maple glaze. They're really good and kind of healthy. I'll make sure to link the full recipe down below and let's jump into it. Okay, so the first step is to add the dry ingredients into a sieve over a large bowl. I'm adding all-purpose flour, baking powder and baking soda, kosher salt, and a blend of pumpkin pie spices. Then I sift everything together, which really helps to aerate the dough and give us nice fluffy donuts. In another bowl, I add a large egg, light brown sugar, and granulated sugar, and I whisk them together until they're nice and homogeneous and smooth. I like to use buttermilk for this recipe because it really makes the donuts moist and tender and flavorful. But if you're like me and you usually don't have buttermilk on hand, it's so easy to make your own. I just add a couple teaspoons of white vinegar to regular milk and let it sit for 5 minutes, and there you have it. Now we're back to the egg and sugar mixture. Add in your buttermilk, pumpkin puree, and a little dash of vanilla extract, and whisk together until smooth. Now add your wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and whisk them together. Last, I stir in some cooled melted butter. Make sure everything's well combined, but don't overmix or you'll end up with tough donuts. Next, I transfer my batter to a piping bag, and I like to do this in a glass to keep the piping bag in place as I fill it. If you don't have a piping bag on hand, don't worry, just use a Ziploc bag and snip off the corner and it will work just as well. The one thing you do need for this recipe is a donut pan. I use my piping bag to fill the cavities about 80 to 90% of the way with batter, and I just take a little offset spatula to smooth out the tops. Remember, the tops of the pan are actually the bottom of the donuts, so they don't have to look perfect by any means. Next, I bake these in a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. I let them cool on a wire rack for about 5 minutes, and then I flip them right out onto the rack to cool completely. While the donuts cool, I make the glaze. Add powdered sugar, maple syrup, melted butter, and a splash of vanilla to a bowl and whisk them together until smooth. If you want to make sure your glaze is extra smooth, sift the powdered sugar first. When the donuts are completely cooled, it's time to dip. I like to double dip so they have a nice thick coating. Set your donuts on a wire rack so the glaze can set up, or sneak a bite first. If you enjoyed this recipe, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.